This is the Nightly Podcast, your favorite late night podcast, with your hosts
Gingy, I'm Gingy.
and Night. So, it's our first podcast. Woo! So we're gonna be mostly kind of be trying to start us off with just kind of getting to know who we are and what we're really about, because this is a podcast that's hopefully gonna be nightly. So, Gingy. So tell me about yourself.
I'm a ginger. I surprisingly, I don't really like gingerbread. Can you believe that? I can't. Um, me myself, I'm a sadist. You know, I'm kidding. But that's all you really need to know about me. We're just doing a podcast, am I right? Just a ginger.
Yeah.
No,
Me,
yeah.
now to me. I am so a little bit about myself more in depth than what the ginger will give. I moved all around the United States. I personally I'm now resident in an area that I will not disclose. But what we're gonna hopefully try to talk about is a little bit of life stories and get a little bit more serious into what has happened in Las Vegas, a very tragic event that is probably one of the top five worst tragedies in in United States. So give me some interesting story about yourself, Gingy.
Uh, well, an interesting story about myself. I have an interesting family, and I don't have much to talk about, but whoop, whoop, whoop. I got a pistol too, fuckhead.
Oh man.
Anyways,
All right.
I don't really got a story about myself like on demand, but one thing is with me and Seth, we have a lot of me and Knight. We have a lot of inside jokes that you probably won't get through out of this podcast. So he's the main guy. I'm just a lackey, if you know what I'm saying. But I don't really have a story about myself. You go on.
So a little bit interesting story about me is me moving around the United States due to my family due to my father being in the Navy. I ended up having to move from Florida to California and back to Florida. An interesting story from when I was in California moving to Florida. How dare you? Is I almost went to Mexico. A true story. We were going through Texas I don't remember where exactly in Texas, but we were relatively close along the border, and we were heading through Texas. It was like a full day trip to get through Texas, and so
Texas is like pretty fucking big.
especially going all like across. It's not.
Yeah.
That is a far drive.
Going across, that's just hell. Because
Yeah,
Texas
it was.
itself is just like Satan's armpit.
Now Florida is what you talking about.
How do you feel?
I feel discombobulated, if that makes any sense. That's a counter. I didn't really need to do that. So while I was while I was going through, my niece had to use the restroom. Oh, that did not work as planned. Oh, so my niece ended up having to use the restroom, and we were like on the highway or wherever. We took the first thing off the highway, and we were kind of going through this pretty dodgy area of Texas, and it was actually really close to the border.
Do you think they it's dodgy because you have to dodge the rednecks' shotgun bullets, you know? I do puns, but I'm not good at them, Seth. You're better at them.
Yeah, I fire off on them a lot whenever I get the chance.
Also, we have stage names and we have real names. My real name is Caleb. His real name is Seth,
We were
which is
not able to
why
keep that up long enough.
which is why I keep calling him Seth. I'm sorry. I'm first podcast, not very good at it.
So I'm gonna try to keep it back onto the story. So I was going through dodgy area. We were basically still kind of like on the main ramp, and we were, and it was like bumper to bumper. Like half of the people didn't speak English. Someone on the side of us that was coming up in like a big old truck. We were trying to ask directions because we didn't know where in the hell we were, and he was speaking very broken English. Like I'm not even gonna recreate any type of accent to offend anyone, but uh,
Are you gonna
he
come
was.
out the sponsor?
I'm focusing on my story, my dude.
All right.
And we were heading. Oh, what? And we
Focus
were
on your
heading.
story.
That don't work. All right, we were heading through. Yeah, we were trying to get off the on ramp, and we were asking this dude next to us, who spoke very broken English about where we were, and we weren't really able to get anything off him, and we were looking around trying to figure out where we were on the bumper to bumper traffic. We were 3/4 of a mile from something from literally going into Mexico. We were stayed on that road. We would have been into Mexico. We would if we didn't, and we were lucky to be able to get off the turn somewhere up very barely. I think we were going the wrong way too and everything. And while trying to get off it, my sister ended up having to use the restroom in a cup.
Oh no.
True story. I'm
See,
not sure if I've
never
ever
had to
mentioned this.
do
Did I?
that. No, I've never had
No,
to do that. You know,
I've never either.
and I
But
never want to do that.
and it was funny because my little brother was right next to her. And he had to turn away, and the car smelled like piss for too
Oh
long.
no.
Yeah, so that was miserable for a while. Had it stick in my. I was halfway out the car at that point.
Like a
And
dog.
exactly, and we were halfway, and that was probably the biggest thing that came out of that trip, going to Mexico and having my sister pee literally in a cup. I think it was what's the W place? Not Wendy's. Whataburger. That's what it was. Sorry, I haven't been in Florida that
I've
long.
never been in Whataburger.
You never been to Whataburger?
No.
It is pretty good. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about it, really.
I mean, you've never been there, so you wouldn't have any real way to feel about it. But and that was one of the biggest interesting stories. Another one, small one, is we found like a pill or something at the hotel, and you know what's funny? My sister slash niece still hasn't learned her lesson from that and actually pissed in the car. I shit you not. Like I want to say a week or two ago, she is a. I want to say 12. She is 12.
Whoa, what is happening in my gameplay right
Literally, 12-year-old
Come
pissed
kill
in
me.
the car. All right, where you at?
now? Oh wait, it's all good now. Never mind.
All right.
Alright, I have a story about me. This was recent. And it was during this solar eclipse.
Did you stare at the sun? Go blind.
No, but I tried to. But, alright, so we live in Florida, and me and my dad went on a road trip. We didn't want to fly to, I want to say South Carolina.
Yeah, I think it was South Carolina. You said.
Yeah, it was South Carolina. We drove to South Carolina, and it was like a 6 to 9 hour drive.
Sounds
That's
fun.
terrible when your dad's a cheapo and does not let you use like data. That was bad. Anyways, when we got there, we had a good time looking at the sun. not my favorite thing to do, but it was a nice experience. And but we drove for a while, and then we got to South Carolina. First, we got to this really janky looking town, right? It looked kind of country, but it also looked kind of ghetto. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
can't,
probably where
I
I
can't,
live.
I can't, I can't say much because I live in a bad part of town, and but there was like rusted old cars, bad little like non-mode areas, and it was just quite janky. And then we got to the state, the actual city we were going to. I can't remember the name, but I think it was the capital. Um, it was kind of shitty. The side we were on, I think. And, like, I did not like it much. Sorry to anyone watching this that lives in South Carolina, but it was not my favorite. I did not like it very much.
I never really. I think I probably went through South Carolina. Was moving from like Maine or whatever back when I was like 7 or something like that. Oh, howdy, partner.
But we did get to this nice little park that we put out our little camping chairs and just waited for the eclipse.
Oh, that did not work. Oh, I stared at the sun for like a millisecond. Thought I went slightly blind. I didn't.
I looked at it. It didn't make me go blind, but I didn't want to test that out.
Test that theory.
No, never.
It's not just a theory, a game theory.
That's
what's another?
I don't know if that's trademarked. You can't be doing that.
No one's gonna hit us for our first podcast, hopefully.
For our first podcast that probably no one's gonna see.
We might get left a couple of views and a couple of people messaging. But it's all about getting out there. That's why we are doing this now instead of procrastinating later.
I saw what you did there.
Oh, that was not nice.
But one thing, we sat in the nice little park, right? It was nice. We watched the eclipse. We got back. It was a park that had a little trail, so we went down the trail. Me and my dad saw this sign that said, "Beware of alligators." That did not pair nicely with me. I'll tell you what. I saw that and I was like, Dad, we're like this high up off the ground. How are they gonna get us? Like, they can walk up this and get up on the dock. And I'm like, you're lying. He's like, nope, that's an actual thing. I'm like, well, can we just walk and get done with it? He's like, yeah. So we started walking. We got under the bridge. We actually saw an alligator, pretty fucking big, I have to say. Then we got back in our car and started driving back home. It's kind of pointless. Oh, one thing I forgot. We were gonna go in a stadium where a lot of people were going to see the eclipse.
That would have not been fun.
Yeah, we both just did not want to do it. And so but we didn't have any other choice. Obviously we did because but so and then the thing we learned after we went to the park is that it was cloudy there, so they didn't even see the solar eclipse. And
so that was a wasted trip.
We're really lucky that my dad just followed the blue skies and found this little park. And it was nice. But then we started driving home, and solar eclipse, South Carolina, everyone's there, and the drive home was not fun.
So you got to see it in totality?
guess. But
Like, was it full or was it just like half? Or...
it was. Oh my god, the streets were barely moving, dude. It was horrible. Like, we got to a point where we just, like, were fucking miserable. It was dark. We just went off, like, we just came off the highway and went into a Wendy's that a lot of people were at, by the way. It was packed with more people. And I was hungry, so my dad was just like, here, take the money, get what you want. I'll be in the car. He was kind of depressed. He was sad because he was been driving all day, and that messes with the dude's head. You know, driving since maybe 6 o'clock.
That's why you bloody jam out full volume.
Yeah, he's not like that. He's 50. He doesn't like that much.
But yeah, my mom's nearly 50 also, and she's one of the biggest rock heads I've ever known.
Trust me, when I'm 50, I'm gonna be jamming Suicide Boys whenever I can.
Suicide and Post Malone.
Like, my grandkids are gonna be in the car like, why are they rapping about an old drug? I'm like, listen, that drug was popping. All right.
Back in my day, that used to kill that used to kill everyone.
I was kicked for inactivity. Hold on.
Nailing it.
Nailing this podcast. I'll tell you what. Anyway.
So
we got. Hold on.
Oh, god damn it! You're so long-winded.
Oh, yeah, we got our Wendy's. It's great. And it was just a really long ass drive. I came home and I actually came home to talk to Seth. Told him
first
all
thing
about
we
it,
got back.
and I was so tired. It was a nice trip, but it was also a really, really, really bad one.
To kind of put a little bit of perspective on how we know each other, I went and moved from Maine to Florida.
Third grade?
I moved from Maine to Florida in first grade, and around third grade, he ended up going to the school. It was Loretta Elementary, and instantly I was that kid who was like, "Oh, you're new? Hey, how you doing? My name's Seth. What you up to?" I was that kid. Caleb can attest to that very easily.
I liked it. You were my kind of guy.
like if I knew myself now, I would have been so annoyed. But
yeah.
Him and this person who might end up being on the podcast as a guest, Casey. Me and him have us three have basically been like the core. We've basically been like the core of a group for the longest. Oh my god, that was like basically the Three Musketeers for like the longest ass time. And me being in the military, I ended up moving to California for about 4 years. So
then he came back to us in Florida.
Yeah, I've only seen Caleb once, and Casey, nada.
Hey, but you're a little boy. You're a little midget.
I'm not no midget.
Anyways.
No. I'm gonna address this. I'm gonna address this right here, right now. Living in California, everyone was so much shorter than me. I am telling you right now. It's probably the thing they put in our food. I'm telling you, and just the.
There's some kids way taller than me.
I know. I trust me. It was the people I go to school with. I was like double something my height. But something in California must have did something because I am way shorter than most of the demographic here. So to try to transition to a little bit of it.
Hold on. I want to tell my side.
God damn it.
Not of that. I'm talking about you moving to Florida. You know? But in first grade, I was in a school called Venetia. It was on a whole different side of our city. And then we moved into a house with my dad's friend, and we were roommates. We were doing all good. And it's a good thing, too, because if not for that, I wouldn't have met Seth or Casey. So, gotta thank my dad for that.
Got that one thing going for him.
Hey! We do not address that on the podcast.
I am just throwing some small shade. You didn't even have to address it.
Oh, and they're thinking something. No, my dad does not abuse me.
That is not it at all. Um,
anyways, in third grade, I met him. Boom, you can go
so,
now.
all right, so try to transition a little bit because I'm gonna try to hopefully save some stories for a later podcast. Let's kind of just talk about kind of what music we're into. So let's start off with you, since that's kind of what the theme is. Me kind of controlling transitioning to you. How dare you? Transitioning to you and kind of talking about it. So, what kind of music are you into?
Um, I like a variety of music. I like alternative rock, and then there's heavy metal, and then there's rap, and underground rap, and mostly any type of rap. I'm white, and this is kind of a white privileged kid thing to do, but I do like it, and my favorite rap artist or artists is Suicide Boys, like I mentioned earlier. I like their style. They're real, and they rap about what they've lived through.
And drugs.
I mean, they're druggies, my man. And we're gonna get a little bit of clout for us, for me being a Suicide Boys fan. We're gonna get more fans off of that.
I might throw that into the tags. See if I can get a little bit of something. Um,
Anyways,
so
yeah, that's basically mine.
so the music I listen to is a variety of things. Same. I listen to a lot of rock, a lot of like Linkin Park, old Linkin Park, new Linkin Park, all that.
New
I listen
Linkin
to
Park guy died. I mean,
yeah,
that's pretty sad.
R.I.P. Chester. That was a way to transition to a darker topic. We could have saved that for later when we transitioned to the more heavier stuff. But yeah, Chester died not too long ago. It was a very tragic thing. But
Rest in peace.
R.I.P. Chester. I think they're doing a memorial concert or whatever out in L.A. sometime soon. Won't be able to go to that, sadly. I could have probably gotten some good coverage for that. Post it
yeah.
on. But I listen to
Post it
Linkin
on
Park,
Twitter.
System of a Down. Post it on Twitter. Slip it a little bit of it on the next podcast as a little pre roll. So I listen to Linkin Park. I listen to recently. Because I'm a huge gamer, I play Fallout, and Fallout brought me into some of the real old school oldies like the Johnny Cash, the Ink Spot specifically, which that is no one's gonna know Ink Spots, but to put in position,
Hold on, no one's gonna know the Ink Spots except for Fallout fans, because we all like the Fallout fans. We all know the one song we hear on the radio when we're in our
Don't Set the
safe
World on
house.
Fire.
I
don't want to set the world
on fire.
I don't want to set the world on fire, honey. Little kind of snippet for if you want to know what I'm talking about. I'm a huge fan of the Ink Spots. They're long dead, sadly, from the bloody 40s. So Ink Spots, anything oldies really. I listen to a lot of that.
And what you said earlier, you've been getting into a lot of Post Malone.
Oh yeah. I don't think I mentioned it. Post Malone, I've been getting into a little bit into recently. I'm fairly into rap. I should probably mention. I'm into Watsky. If you know, that was a good one.
You like
I haven't listened to him. I actually haven't listened to him in a while. But Tech Nine, Watsky, Spose. If anyone's shout out to my people from Maine. He got me into Suicide Boys a little bit. I could listen to that casually. Post Malone's pretty good. I've been getting into him a little bit. Favorite song so far is Go Flex. White Iverson, as popular as it is, it's an unpopular opinion by the way, it's not that good. Like, honestly. Like, what? White Iverson is not that good at song.
I like White Iverson.
I just don't like it. I like Post Malone. Don't.
All right, the new Lil Pump mixtape came out.
Alright. So I am not really just to kind of make sense why I'm like, no, I'm not
He
really that
he
much into all that.
he's not really into underground rap guys. Like
Uh,
he doesn't know who I'm talking about when I'm talking about Six Dogs,
No,
or
I have no idea who that is. Not the slightest. First time I've
you
heard of.
might know Puya and Fat Nick because I made you listen to them.
Yeah. Uh,
Ghostmane, um, those are just like the main underground rap artists, and really they're not even underground anymore. They're mostly getting into the mainstream, which is good for them, really. Because if they're getting mainstream, they're getting a lot of clout and a lot of money. So that's in the
good.
good for them. Good for their shit. You know.
Good for them, but just not really my music. I love rap and
Lil Pump. Ooh.
I genuinely enjoy a lot of aspects of rap. But what I don't really like is that repetitive kind of like Theros or a mumble rap. I'm not really into that either. I'm into that heartfelt like really heavy shit or something that really shows off skill like Watsky's Whoa Whoa Whoa, which is hella fast. Um, and you may know Watsky from Pale Kid Raps Fast. It's his major staple of what he's done. Um, that's the majority of the music I listen to. I occasionally listen to what else? The Flowbots. I know not many people are gonna really know them, other than from Handlebars. I can remember back with no handlebars, no handlebars. That song. Um, they have recently become more political, and it's very it's a they are largely political, kind of like anti-government type folk songs. With the, I mean, he doesn't really consider it rap, but
I consider
it
it rap. I like it, but
that's not what you used to say.
what do you mean?
You used to literally, by quote, that is not real rap. You used to say that all the time.
Yeah.
Uh,
Anyways, let me get into the underground for a minute. Lil Pump's new mixtape just dropped. That's good as shit, dude. Like, Lil Pump might not be the most lyrical, but he gets people hype as shit, and that's good, cause
is that the only reason why people listen to XXXTentacion also?
no. Oh, you might have just triggered a lot of people saying that.
I know, but first off, what
Dude,
XXXTentacion looks like now is complete bollocks. What he's done, just nothing. Don't
he
even want to get
came
into that.
he came off of Look at Me and those type of songs, but that's not his only type of song, you know? Like, he makes sad, meaningful songs like his new album 17, which is really not even new anymore, but it's his newest one.
I just, I don't. That stuff I just couldn't get. I just can't get behind that type of.
You're too
I might.
lyrical.
I really am though. Like, I literally go for artists I'm really into. I go on Genius and I look at the hidden meaning behind all the lyrics. Yeah, I'm a little bit of a nerd on that. But let's try to transition it into something else.
I got something we can transition to. Getting to know ourselves, getting to know me and Knight a little bit more. Like we're doing right now is video games. We like video games, and so we can
a little
talk
bit too much.
little bit too much. So we're gonna talk about our favorite video games. You go first, sir.
All right, since I've been going first all the time, good little takeover there. So I'm really into stuff. A majority of almost everything. Not that much of a Call of Duty fan, but that's just because it's been the same thing for a while. Good on them for going back to the roots of World War II. Has that
and Modern Warfare Remastered? I've been playing that.
You got remastered? I haven't.
No, I'm at my sibling's house.
Ah.
They have
Well,
PS4. I play PC, and everything's more expensive on PC. So.
But also a lot more free. You can't take that one away.
All right, so you like Fallout?
I like most RPGs I can really get behind. Fallout,
Skyrim.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
We've both played too much of that.
My favorite games, Skyrim, and one that has been my favorite for a long time is God of War. God
Oh
of
yeah,
War is
Kratos.
my favorite, probably favorite game ever. Like it has such a good story and the graphics and the you know nudity.
You crazy teen, you.
That's 9 in a row. For some
That's
reason, we're
9
counting
in a
by
row.
odds only.
Yeah, I got a
Anyway.
three. I got three in a row at some point.
um, those are our favorite games. All right, so we're gonna transition.
Oh,
To,
I was gonna go more in depth on gaming because we could probably make a good segment out of
we're
that.
running out of time. That's for next. That's for
What?
next
Well,
podcast.
isn't it? We're doing an hour. What's the time on recording so far?
I don't know. Let me look.
All right. Well, as he's doing that, I must talk a little bit more into the whole gaming sphere. Um, I'm been a huge fan of gaming for a good while. Um, I have almost all the Nintendo 64 emulators and SNES emulators and in NES emulators just to toot my own horn a little bit, just a little bit of a brag. And personally got my Nintendo 64 and SNES out on a display, whatever.
Oh, I
And
forgot. We can just look at the Paladin's game timer up there. Wow.
oh yeah,
We're
32
32
minutes.
minutes long.
So we're going for an hour. We can probably
Yeah, we
jump into
can
it
we
at
can
40.
jump into the gaming.
Uh, so because we're just doing a simple hour long recording.
Hey,
Um,
while you talk about that, I'm gonna. Well, I'm probably gonna be kicked for inactivity, but I'm gonna go get a drink. You go into depth about your gaming, and I'll come back with a drink.
all right,
All right, I'll be right back.
bastard. So he didn't catch that, haha. But so I'm a huge gamer. I've grown up with it. My dad is a gamer. He got me into all that. Like some of you may know these, probably not. Like Gothic 3, Neverwinter, stuff like that. All those old school like RPGs. That was him. That got me in. And so I've actually recently been trying to find Gothic. It's a lot harder than you think. Um, so and what else? Favorite genre RPGs. Favorite company Bethesda. One of the only few companies to really deliver on their games. The only thing that has really been kind of downhill has been their little E3 press conference. I haven't seen the Gamescom one. If they had one, I doubt it. Any of the Gamescon stuff. God damn it, gotta speak English. Uh, but check out some. I haven't had a chance to check out any of the Gamescom stuff.
Cream of the crop.
Oh yeah, but wrestling fans, we'll get onto that
I
maybe
like
later.
I like how I just came back like that.
Yeah, we can jump into that maybe next time. Maybe the next segment, put that into a little bit and segue into the heavier stuff.
Well, the next
But
segment is yeah. You go on. You go on.
all right. I haven't seen any of the Gamescom, but from E3, this year looks really promising in terms of gaming. I see you. It's really
I'm
promising in
not
terms of
trying
gaming.
to kill you right now, my boy. Oh, you know
Is-
what game that's new that I really like the concept and gameplay of?
What?
S- Um, I think it was
The Sea of Thieves?
Hellblade.
Hellblade? Oh,
I think that's what it was called. It was Norse.
Norse?
It was like a Norse type game with a woman with a mental disability or a mental illness. Yeah, mental illness, and she hears voices and she's going nuts in the game. It's a good game. You should check it out, all of you. But you go on. I'm sorry I cut you off.
Alright. For the stuff that was E3 this year looks very promising. I remember 2 years ago, 2 years ago, like 2014. I want to say, was it 2014? That was like really bad year for gaming.
No,
Where
it
it
was
was
like last year,
last year.
I think.
It was either 2013 or 2014. that there was a lot of broken games coming out, like Evolve or whatever. When was Evolve came? When did
Oh
Evolve?
yeah, Evolve. I played that, but it was just way too boring.
Because games like Evolve and all that, that was a really bad year for gaming.
Make sure to move so you don't get kicked.
People were frantically worried about gaming basically dying, similar to what happened for any of you gaming history buffs, '83 when the whole gaming crash originally happened. Uh, People were really worried about there being a repeat of that. But luckily, it's only been getting better with the Fallout 4 coming out. Great game. Haven't been able to play it. My PC's a bloody potato.
I've played it. It's a really good game. I like it.
I've played. Well, scratch that. I've
Not
played
on
it,
this
but
PC. You guys
yeah,
can tell from this gameplay that my computer's also a potato. It's laggy a little bit, but it's fine, I guess, for a podcast. You know, we're not gonna be doing gaming for the podcast much.
Just occasionally when we don't have much to kind of fill the empty space of editing. See if we can get. Alright. To not fill it with too much silence, time to get back into conversation. One game that seemed really interesting that I remember talking about right when it came out was the Sea of Thieves. It's a pirate open world RPG. I'm gonna say right RPG. It's like a good example would be like it's like a Skyrim or like because most RPGs are
type of Skyrim.
Yeah, it's like Skyrim style kind of RPG that's vastly different from Skyrim, but that's the best way to kind of describe it. The gameplay, and it seemed really interesting. We are really huge Pirates fans. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. Used to play Pirates of the Caribbean online. If any of y'all know that, shout out. And a little bit of Pirates of Waterwood.
I never played either of those, but I did play the PS2 Pirates of the Caribbean game. It was great, but me as a kid, I couldn't get past any of it.
I used to try. I watched it when it was a thing, and I was really trying to find pirate games. Not many out there at the time.
Me as a kid, if I couldn't get past the level, I'd scream.
I still haven't gotten past that one Pirates of the Caribbean Black Flag game part, and I'm still mad about that.
Assassin's Creed, you mean?
Black Flag.
You said Pirates of the Caribbean Black Flag.
Oh, did I? Oh.
Yes.
Fuck. Well, basically same thing.
Really though.
Some part of that I'm still stuck on. Do you want to try to transition to a little bit of wrestling since what? All right, ignore that.
That's the girl that pissed her pants, right?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean, guys. I'm just making a little fun. Anyways.
All right.
Anyways.
So
no, we can't do the wrestling because we're on a little bit of a time limit. We're gonna get into the main section of the podcast, which is a very serious topic, a very serious event that has occurred, which is the Las Vegas shooting. Rest in peace to anyone that has died or anyone that's most likely gonna die from their wounds. We live in crazy times. You know, like when people are feeling depressed or sad, they just pick up a gun and start shooting people, you know.
Or pick up pills and start chewing them.
Like normal people do, you know. I'm sorry, that was uncalled for.
Yeah, we have a little bit of a dark humor occasionally, a little bit of offensive humor. You might see that creep in occasionally. Don't like it. Sorry about it. It's just personality. Being.
If you don't like it, don't like us, go away.
Honestly, we can't really help you on that one.
Anyways, what's your thoughts on it, Knight?
What I found really crazy was how they're turning that into a very political. They're turning it into something political. They're turning it into gun control. They're turning a very serious topic that was a mass shooting, and someone like Hillary, who was running in the 2016 election.
16.
I'm not stupid. 2016 election
You are
and miserably, how dare you, miserably failed. Um,
because of the
yeah.
rednecks that like Trump. Sorry, guys, that was a little bit offensive, but you know, it was
Oh,
mostly rednecks that like Trump. Like my
Ow.
father.
Did you? I thought you said. I was looking at the chat, whatever, and said you went offline, but it was something before. But just so there's a little bit of, I'm very upfront about who I am politically. I am a moderate who takes a little bit to the right, and I'm not, and
Me
I dislike.
too. I have to say I like
That's great.
Trump better than Hillary. Hillary's just retarded, in my opinion.
So those SJWs, I don't really want your viewership anyway.
SJWs can suck a dick. Suck a big fat Republican dick. Okay.
Oh, recently,
No,
Instagram
we
is the
can't.
best.
We can't. We have to stay on topic.
Oh yeah, I was about to go on to a little bit tangent. Save that tangent for a little bit later, if you have time.
We have 20 minutes.
Yeah, that's plenty of time for conversation about politics for a little bit.
Ow.
I tick moderately, or I moderate tick slightly to the right. I defend Trump when he's right. I condemn him when he's wrong. One of the biggest things I've condemned him on constantly. Well, not
A little bit of
near constant.
racism.
No, that's not. Well,
I'm kidding.
nah, that's
He's
actually.
not, I honestly think he's not racist.
If you genuinely disagree and you want to have a debate about it, because that's the one type of person I am.
DM us.
I
DM the
I-
Nightly Podcast Twitter.
I
It's
literally scour the United States to find people to talk to about this. But
it's probably not going to be me you're talking to, you know? Because I don't like talking about politics or anything serious. I'm a joking guy, you know?
I drag them into this a lot. To talking about it.
Anyways, we're going to talk about the Las Vegas shooting.
Now that you got the pretext of PR.
Not your politically...
Yeah, I'll deal with the political stuff later. We'll say that for next episode. I can always get into that. So if people aren't really filled in too much, don't worry. I wasn't either a couple days ago, like a day ago.
Bring up the guy's name. We need his name.
I really don't. Yeah, this is what I say. I'm not gonna give his name. If we find the name, I will not give the name. I will not give the picture. Do you know why? Because I do not want to give him fame. What he has done was horrible and sickening, and the last thing I want to do is give that power. So,
yeah.
So, a little bit of what happened was Los Angeles was not Los Angeles. Fuck.
They were having
Las Vegas. That's what it was. I'm a little bit tired. Las Vegas. There was a.
Well, this is the late night podcast.
Yeah, I chugged coffee and I still can't do it. I'm surprised you're slurring your words anyway.
We cannot talk about that.
I will not mention it, but I will say that you're slurring your words because you are tired. That's probably way too much of a giveaway, but I don't know.
The dude that did the shooting, I feel like he wasn't doing it for fun. He may have been a little bit of mentally ill.
We don't really currently know why it happened. That's what a lot of people are doing.
No one does. No one probably ever will.
People are currently right now really trying to find out the reason why, which we probably won't find a reason why. That's just kind of that's kind of the truth of the matter. We really won't find a why. But what we can do is inform and try to educate. What happened? What happened was that I got timed out. Oh well. Player disconnected. Alright. Since that's happened, you're still in, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Then I'll just try to casually come in while still trying to tell the story. So what happened was that in Las Vegas there was a country concert that was, I think, 3 nights, three-day festival or whatever, and someone someone came in from what was at a hotel near it on a balcony. I'm not sure if you knew about this, and he was shooting
I did.
from. You did?
Hmm.
All right. Because I know I didn't know. I thought he was in the crowd or something like that, and that's what I first thought. That's what I was trying. And when I saw the video, I was trying to look around for that. But um, he ended up having like what, like 20 or 30 guns.
Yeah. He had a fuckload of guns.
Which I don't get why you need that many guns. So, not to make light of it, but generally, wouldn't you just need like 2 or 3 guns, if most? That's all you'd really get to.
At
And he had
most
like,
3.
and he had like 15 of them in his hotel alone, with magazines and bombs and stuff and shit like that. I don't what. And he had even more at his house. Like he's either a gun nut or something. That something.
Yeah.
And oh, I read it. All right. And god damn, I'm failing logging in. And the police were really fast at the response. Like, genuinely.
It was a festival, so they have security around there.
Yeah, but the first was like people are. I remember I remember earlier.
Log in fast because this bot is trying to take the payload.
All right.
What my thoughts on it were, a lot of the majority of people thought that there was 2 shooters, and that
Capture
second
point
one
spawning
was
in
in the crowd
15
shooting,
seconds.
and they started sharing videos on Facebook and Twitter, and it was a video
3,
of
2,
a woman taking a video, right? And
Mhm.
they got scared because a security guard turned on his flashlight, and they thought it was the flashlight of a gun. And then I was just like, lady, in the video it's obviously just a flashlight, and the dude has a security vest on. And arguably, they were saying things like, it doesn't matter if he had a security vest on. I'm like, well, yeah, but do you see anyone thinking that hard just to do a shooting? You know?
Yeah, honestly, when people do it, they're not really smart.
Yeah. I'm probably gonna lose this match.
You probably are, but honestly, what? Give me the time of what it is.
48 minutes.
48
We have
minutes.
About 12 minutes.
12 minutes. All right, so it's 1 o'clock. So my thoughts on it was, fuck the people who are politicizing it. Fuck the people who are condemning Trump for literally saying, like, if you're gonna bash Trump, bash Trump legitimately. But people were literally, like, basically quoting certain bits of what he said, and basically trying to make it seem like he said it's a miracle that so many people died. That's not what he said at all. What he said was it was a miracle that the police responded so fast, and it's true. They responded so incredibly fast. I'm super proud of the men in blue, as much people as will probably say fuck the police, but you know, I'm proud of the men in blue who did do their job and did try to, and genuinely tried to help people, and that's what happened. It's crazy to think that we
Fuck the law, 2K17.
To be fair, you were on that hype for a good while.
I'm still on it.
Get off of it. Get off your high horse.
I'm not a Democrat that thinks that, like, Black Lives Matter, but I'm saying, like, some cops really do some fucked up things, and you can't dodge that. But that's for another segment. This segment is the LV shooting. Gotta stay on for the next 10 minutes.
Gonna really drag this one out. I'll say for the last couple of minutes, I'll
5 minutes, maybe. The last 5 minutes is gonna be our sort of outro.
And us just kind of wrapping up, talking about what final thoughts on each individual thing. Um, there's a lot of misinformation being spread, and that is very damaging. You give misinformation, and that misleads, and that is exactly what you don't want to do in a emergency situation. That is the truth. That's the last.
Wait, your mic is screwing up.
6, 5, 4,
Is it?
Wait, no, it's not. No, it's
2,
not.
1.
All right. Push failed. All right, we're good.
Alrighty. So this last round, we just have to wait it out. Alright, so we basically covered everything of the Las Vegas shooting. It was a horrific event, and I feel for the families who have lost people.
It's genuinely fucked up to say, but it's happened so much that we've almost gotten desensitized by it. We've seen shooting after shooting come up in America, and that is horrific. It's
really fucked up.
One thing is to keep in reminder is that we cannot let this change how we live. A lot of people will end up being completely scared to just simply step out of the house, and that is something you don't want. You don't want to give the people who do this the power.
Nay.
And that's something we always have to keep. Do not give the men and women sometimes who do the power. You live your life.
They want it. They want you to be afraid. It's probably the sole reason why they do it.
That's why I never give their. I learned from Philip DeFergo. I don't give his name. Little shout out. I never say his name. I never say the people's name, and I never give their photo. Why? I do not want to give them power. They did it for a reason. They did it to
probably
put fear.
Like what other people are thinking, they did it to make a point. Like, no, they're just lashing out.
They do it to put fear and to hurt. That is what they do.
It's not to get gun rights or gun control. Like, no.
That is exactly what has been going on. Hillary said something. I'm gonna put the quote right now.
We need more gun control.
I ramble on for a minute because I'm gonna get the actual quote and I'm gonna mention it because I got Twitter up.
She legit said, "We need more gun control," and that's just stupid. Like, if something like that happens, you want to be able to defend yourself. You not like if they have more gun control rights, like if they have more gun control laws. What was I saying? Criminals are still gonna get it. Like, the criminals are still gonna get the guns. It's inevitable.
So
just go to your local crackhead on the street.
Just here's a quote from what she said. The crowd fled to the sound of gunshots. Imagine the deaths if the shooter had a silencer, which the NRA wants to try to make easier to get. That she is politicizing a event. She is politicizing a mass shooting, probably one of the worst in America. It is really horrible. It is really horrible.
Double kill. Let me stop. I'm a bad person.
It is hard to fathom the fact that she was trying to run for president. That she turned an event like that.
If she did make it as president, imagine what we'd be going through right now because of this incident.
Yeah, look at what she did with Benghazi or whatever. Not to get too political, which I swear to God, we're gonna get political at some point. We're gonna have like a full episode.
We're gonna get political, but that's when Casey comes on the damn podcast, not me. I'm gonna be sitting in the back just using my recording, because I'm the recorder. You're the editor. Casey's just our guest.
He's the occasional guest host. We'll add maybe some other people if we get the option.
Balkan Bosna, Slavic alien, whatever you want to call it. You know, that's his stage name. either Balkan Bosna or Slavic alien. He's Slavic, he's Bosnian, and
And he's Muslim. That too.
he's Muslim. Which
Just
is,
just to put into perspective, because he's a Muslim socialist. I used to be socialist myself.
he converted me. I think I like the idea of socialism.
I used to be socialist. I used to be the biggest Bernie bro. I think Caleb,
Bernie,
you remember? I used to
yeah.
be all over Bernie. I used
When
to talk about
when
him.
it was the election, you were crazy about him. You wanted his old cock really bad.
Fuck off. I was really a Bernie bro, and I still am on certain topics such as climate change. One thing which you can look around. I've had this conversation with my science teacher, I think yesterday, about climate change and how much it's changed and how much it's affecting. It isn't the number of hurricanes; it's the power, because the waters are warming. It's obvious.
Yeah.
And with that are coming stronger and more powerful hurricanes. Look at Irma. Look at Harvey.
Jose.
And
Harvey.
Maria.
Holy God.
Was it Maria or was it Mary or something
I
like
think
that?
it was Maria. Yeah. Holy God, Harvey and Irma. We can save that for next podcast, but just a quick tidbit.
We were right.
Rest in peace.
We got hit by Irma. Not that I luckily live more inland around the.
Hold on. Let me just say this. Rest in peace, Miami. They're flood town. They are legit flood town.
No, fucking look up
Like
Puerto Rico.
They are fucked, dude.
All right.
I'm so glad we don't live that south.
I have to mention this because I find it half funny and half fucked up. Trump literally called it Puerto Rico, Pwet.
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico. He's like we all gotta pray for Puerto Rico.
Hey,
Seth. He turned a pun. He turned a flooded city into.
Come find me.
God damn it! Right? Really? Oh well. So
I bet you can't get up here. Is what I'm trying to do. You cannot turn right here. You cannot.
Right.
You cannot get up here. I don't think you can.
We have 58. Oh shit!
You thought.
Did not mean to do that.
You thought. Get up here. You won't. Oh. Ow.
All right. So we have about
2 minutes. We can wrap up this LV shooting. It was a horrible event. Rest in peace.
the hurricanes that happened. RIP the people that are not. Yeah, a couple of people died. RIP the people who died.
We send our
condolences to Puerto Rico.
We send our condolences to people who have really lost everything.
And we were talking about tragedies in the United States. There were so many more in other countries. I think Nigeria got flooded, but that's a story for another time.
1 minute.
Yeah, we have a minute to wrap up. So, so the problems that we're facing currently today are very bad. A little bit about ourselves. We covered that. I want to thank you. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and you can check me out.